Jennifer Walters lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling as a strange warmth began to pool in her chest. The day had been long, and exhaustion weighed heavily on her, but this wasn't normal. She sat up slowly, her fingers brushing her damp forehead. Sweat clung to her skin, her breaths coming in short, uneven gasps. Something was wrong. Her legs swung over the edge of the bed, and she stood, her knees wobbling slightly. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. Jennifer glanced around, her eyes darting to the mirror across from her bed. Her reflection stared back, pale and glistening with perspiration. Her hand clutched her chest as the warmth intensified, spreading through her arms and down her torso. "No, not now," she whispered, her voice trembling. She shook her head as if to clear it, but the sensation only grew stronger. Her body felt heavier, her muscles tighter. She stumbled toward the door, gripping the frame for support as a low, guttural groan escaped her lips. The hallway felt endless as she made her way toward the staircase, each step a struggle. Jennifer's hand trailed along the banister as an uncomfortable heat coursed through her body. Her breaths were ragged, shallow, as if she couldn't get enough air. Sweat beaded on her forehead, dripping down her temple as she paused halfway down the stairs, her knees wobbling. "No, not now," she repeated, her voice cracking as she gripped the railing tighter. The wood groaned under her increasing strength, a sound she barely registered through the haze of mounting panic. Her fingers twitched, her nails digging into the banister as the heat surged again, hotter, fiercer. A low, guttural groan escaped her lips. The first sign of change was subtle. Her jeans, snug and perfectly fitted earlier, began to stretch and strain against her thighs. The seams along her legs let out a faint creak, a warning of what was to come. Jennifer's hand shot to her side, clutching her jeans as though holding them would somehow stop the inevitable. "Stop it!" she hissed, her voice shaking with desperation. Her legs trembled as she took another step, the denim tightening uncomfortably around her expanding muscles. The heat now pulsed through her body in waves, and with every pulse she felt her strength increasing, her control slipping. Her calf muscles bulged first, pushing against the confines of the denim. The seams quivered before giving way with an audible shrip. The jagged tear revealed green, muscular skin underneath. Jennifer gasped, stumbling forward onto the next step. She clutched the stair railing tighter, her knuckles whitening as she fought against the transformation. "No, I can't let this happen," she cried. But her body ignored her pleas. Her thighs thickened next, tearing the fabric apart with a thunderous rip. The shreds of her jeans hung loosely around her legs as her transformation progressed, her flesh glowing with an emerald hue. Her breathing quickened, each exhale turning into a low, guttural growl. Jennifer fell to her knees, the staircase creaking beneath her weight. Her hands slapped against the steps as her arms began to thicken, veins rising like rivers under her skin. She groaned, her voice deepening with each passing second. Her shirt-a-loose button-up stretched taut across her shoulders. The fabric strained, the buttons pulling against their threads. Pop, pop, pop! Buttons flew in all directions as her chest expanded, her pectoral muscles pushing forward with raw strength. The shirt split open along her back, unable to contain her growing frame. Threads snapped audibly, the ripping sound growing louder as her shoulders broadened. Jennifer gasped, her head tilting back as a wave of heat rolled through her spine. Her hair fell into her face, sticking to her damp skin as she let out a growl, half frustration, half something else. Her nails, now sharper and thicker, scraped against the steps as she pushed herself upright. The sound of her breathing filled the space, echoing in the confined hallway. She forced herself to stand, the tatters of her jeans falling away as her legs lengthened, her muscles surging with each tremor of change. The hallway lights flickered as if responding to the energy radiating from her body. Her socks strained against her feet, the fabric stretching until it frayed. The slow RRRITIPPPP echoed in the narrow space as her toes pushed through the cotton, her feet swelling larger with each passing second. The elastic gave way with a snap, leaving scraps of fabric around her ankles as her feet pressed against the floor. Jennifer's hand slapped against the bathroom door, fumbling for the handle. Her strength made it impossible to turn it delicately. Instead, the handle bent under her grip, the door slamming open with a crash. She staggered inside, her reflection in the mirror catching her eye. For a moment, she froze, staring at the green hue spreading across her skin, the wildness in her eyes. "This isn't me," she whispered, her voice quivering. Tears welled in her eyes as her body jerked forward, another wave of transformation taking hold. Her biceps swelled, the remaining fabric of her shirt ripping apart completely. The tearing was agonizingly loud, each thread snapping with precision as her arms expanded beyond the shirt's limits. She fell to her knees again, the tiles cracking beneath her weight. Her breathing turned into guttural growls as her chest heaved. The straps of her bra snapped with a sharp snap. Her back arched, muscles rippling along her spine as her transformation reached its crescendo. Jennifer clutched the edge of the sink, her nails digging gouges into the porcelain. The bathroom mirror cracked from the force of her movements. Shri! Her remaining undergarments strained before tearing apart, the elastic snapping loudly. Her thighs thickened further, her calves bulging as her legs lengthened, pushing her body upward. Her shoulders broadened, her deltoids tearing through the last remnants of fabric clinging to her. Jennifer's breathing grew heavier, each exhale a guttural growl that resonated through the bathroom. Her hands pressed against the sink, the porcelain crumbling under her grip as her arms swelled larger, veins pulsating visibly beneath her emerald skin. Her jaw clenched tightly, her teeth grinding as her face subtly shifted, her cheekbones sharpening. The tiles beneath her feet cracked as her weight increased, her toes digging into the floor as her feet expanded, tearing through what remained of her socks. Jennifer's spine arched again, her back muscles rippling and expanding with a sickening CRRRK. Her shoulders rolled forward, the motion accompanied by more tearing sounds as her transformation refused to slow. Her midsection tensed, her abdominal muscles bulging into a pronounced six-pack that flexed with every shuddering breath. The sound of ripping filled the air as her lats flared outward, further broadening her imposing frame. Jennifer's head snapped back, her hair cascading wildly as a feral growl tore from her throat. Her thighs bulged again, the remaining shreds of fabric clinging to her legs disintegrating as her muscles fully overtook them. Her knees cracked audibly as they adjusted to her new size, her entire body trembling with the force of the transformation. The bathroom's walls seemed to close in around her, the small space unable to contain her growing form. Her biceps flexed involuntarily, the peaks of muscle rising higher with each contraction. Her hands clenched into fists, the knuckles whitening even as her skin darkened further into a rich, vibrant green. Jennifer's chest heaved as the last remnants of her transformation took hold. Her pecs pushed forward, her body towering over the shattered remnants of the sink and mirror. Her breaths slowed, deep and guttural, as the primal strength coursing through her veins finally stabilized. Her eyes caught her reflection again, and instead of fear, a small, wild smile crept across her face. A low, almost purring moan escaped her lips as she ran her fingers along her bulging biceps, feeling the raw power coursing through her body. She tilted her head back, her breathing still heavy, but now laced with a strange satisfaction. "Oh, this feels incredible," she muttered, her voice now a deep, sultry growl. Her hand slid down her chest, tracing the newly formed ridges of her abs. Each touch sent a shiver through her body responding to the sensation with a mix of awe and exhilaration. Her thighs tensed, flexing as she shifted her weight, the sheer strength in her legs cracking more tiles beneath her. Her gaze returned to the mirror, now shattered but still reflecting fragments of her transformed self. Jennifer smirked, baring her teeth as a feral energy surged within her. This is who I am now," she said, her voice dripping with both defiance and acceptance. She flexed her arms, the muscles swelling even larger, the motion accompanied by a satisfying CRRAKKK of her joints settling into their new form. The remnants of her torn clothing fell away completely, leaving her standing tall and unrestrained. With a single, furious roar, she punched the bathroom wall, sending tiles flying. The sound echoed through the house as she turned, her reflection now unrecognizable in the shattered mirror. Jennifer Walters was gone. In her place stood the She-Hulk, her rage barely contained. The ground beneath her trembled as she shifted her stance, her breath still heavy but steadying. She gazed at the destruction she'd caused, a flicker of guilt crossing her face before it was replaced by the simmering anger she couldn't quite suppress. The primal strength coursing through her veins demanded release, and with one last glance at the shattered remnants of her former self, she stormed out of the bathroom, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake.